and welcome to At Home today. We're so glad you could be with us. And let me say that today we're honoring some very, very special women in all of our lives. We're honoring our mothers. Today's our Mother's Day program. I know it's a couple of weeks early, but we wanted to be sure that we got this program to you so that you would be able to plan for the next couple of weeks just what to do for that very special lady in your life. You say, well, Arlene, you don't know if my mother was good to me or not. No, I don't. But the person that gave you life and the one that nurtured you as a child, they're important people. If they're the same people, that's fine. If you're adopted, then you have double things to be, people to be appreciative of. I want to tell you that whatever you do something special for your mother. My mother's been gone for about 6 years now, and I miss her every day. I was going through some of the dishes. This little dish my mother had in her cabinet. This was purchased for her for 15 cents. Now, this is a lot of years ago, folks. This is Noritake, believe it or not. And I just thought, when I looked at this dish, how many times as a child there were ministers, preachers, missionaries, evangelists, or just good friends, or someone that Mom and Dad just invited to come home for that Sunday dinner, have had their hands on this dish and passed it around the table. Mom would put pickles or olives or some small little, maybe celery stuffed with cream cheese. This was that special dish. I treasure this because my mother's loving hands many times prepared the food that was in this dish. At the end of the program, you're going to see the dishes that my mother used for over 50 years in her kitchen every day, and they're pink. Isn't that ironic that they would be? But today we want to honor mothers, and we're going to be preparing a meal that if you've never cooked before, or if you're not a whiz in the kitchen, you would be willing to try to prepare for your mom. It's easy to call, make reservations, and take her out, and that's fine. But there's just nothing quite as nice as doing something from your heart, putting a little bit of yourself into it and saying, hey, Mom, I prepared this for you. Or maybe you and your dad, or maybe you and the kids, or whomever. Please just think about what you could prepare and make a day so special for Mom. Don't forget those wonderful Mother's Day cards that we're been looking at here. And how about a special gift? Imagine what it would feel like coming home from church on Mother's Day, and she would find there's the gift with a beautiful card that has your sentiments, and then a wonderfully prepared dinner that only you could do for her. Imagine how she'd feel. I thank God for my mother. I thank God for mothers who have had influence over people in the world. You know, they say the hand that rocks the cradle really rules the world. And for a lot of years, that was very, very true. Another woman in my life besides my mother, my own precious mother, was my grandmother, my paternal grandmother, my dad's mom. And you see a picture here on the screen now. This is Mary Boback. She was a special lady, a loving, gentle, wonderful lady. And she was a true mother to my father and just instilled in him so many beautiful attributes of life. There's my mom and dad together, I guess shortly before Mom passed away. Precious people, and it's just so wonderful to be able to honor them. And that's something that you can do. So today we're going to honor mothers. If yours is still alive and still here with you, you put your arms around her every day and you hug her and you tell her that you love her. And if she's gone, you stop and reflect that day and remember how wonderful it was to have a mother just like her. We'll be back in just a minute to begin today's special tribute to moms. Stay with us. Here's today's special hint. Here's today's at-home hint. Use a clean plastic squirt-top mustard bottle filled with icing to decorate your cake. It works nicely.
For updates, pictures, stories, and more, like us on Facebook. To watch hundreds of classic episodes, subscribe to us on YouTube. And to get hundreds of free recipes, visit ctvn.org/athome.
Well, we're back, and the first dish that we're preparing today is called Easy Swiss Steak. And what we use here for this particular dish is cube steak. And when you go to the store, ask them to please make sure that you can get the leanest cube steak. It kind of looks like a hamburger patty, but it isn't. It's steak that they put through a tenderizer, break down all the fibers, and it is very, very good tasting if you get the lean ones. If you get some that has gristle and fat in it, then that's not good. So I suggest that what you do is go to Foodland and ask them, could you please give me some good cube steaks? And you need 2 pounds, and what this will do, 2 pounds will serve about 4 people, all right? And you have flour, about a cup of flour, 3 teaspoons of garlic powder, and some pepper. You mix that up. You take the pieces of beef and you dredge them in the flour. You put a couple of tablespoons of oil in our pan. For time-wise, this is why we've gone ahead, because we want this to cook for you. And then you brown it on both sides in the oil. And that's where we are right now. That's what we have here is our several pounds of our cube steaks, and they've all been nicely browned. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take a couple of onions, and we're going to we've cut them in quarters and then slice them. We want to add that into our skillet. Next, we're going to take a couple of green peppers, and we're slicing those and just adding them. My mom used to make Swiss steak. She can make the best Swiss steak. Have all those fresh vegetables in it, and that good tomato flavor. All right, now we have the peppers and the onions. Now what we're going to do is take a couple of cans of stewed tomatoes, and these are already have all the seasonings and flavorings, and we're just going to put that over top of our steak. Aha, does that sound good? Does it smell good? You know it does. And basically, just push it down. That's going to cook down now. We'll lower our heat because we don't want this to cook too fast, but it'll cook for about 20-25 minutes. We're going to cover it. Let me lower this just a little bit. We have to keep it going because it has to maintain the heat, but we don't want it to cook so fast that it cooks up all our vegetables and the meat would not be well done. Basically, that's all. We're going to boil some wide noodles. We're going to serve that over wide noodles. Some people serve it over rice. Some people serve it over mashed potatoes. Whatever you think your mom would like. The noodles is very easy because you can boil them the same time that you're making the Swiss steak. Now what we're going to add to this wonderful dinner is a garlic cheese loaf. And this is a bread that we'll be using. This is really interesting. Let me get them out of the refrigerator before I can show you how to prepare them. This is made from refrigerator biscuits. And what we've done is taken some refrigerator biscuits and we've opened them, 2 rolls of them, and you need to melt some butter in a saucepan or in a bowl and have about a cup or cup and a half of grated cheese. This is sharp cheese, okay? And you take your little biscuits, you have your scissors nicely sterilized, and you cut them in fourths, just like that. Have a bread pan ready right here. This has already been greased. We're going to add some garlic powder to our melted, about 1/4 of a teaspoon, maybe a little bit more, depending. If you like more, add more. And we're mixing up just like that. Now we're going to take these cubes of refrigerator biscuit. That's all it is. You say, but Arlene, how come you don't make everything from scratch? Well, you can, but why sacrifice not making something because you don't know how to make something from scratch? If these prepared things are there and you don't have the time, why wouldn't you use them? The outcome is what you're achieving here. Your mom being able to sit down and have some bread that she said, oh, do you know that my Mary made that loaf of bread? Just look how good that is. That's that garlic bread. Just look. Well, I mean, your mother would be so proud of you. So don't worry about it. Well, I didn't make it from scratch. Well, that's okay. That's all right. When you have time, you'll learn how to do that, and it'll be fine. Now, I'm going to put some cheese. After I get my first layer, you can either roll these individually in the cheese, but I think what I'm going to do is sprinkle, when I get the first layer done, sprinkle the cheese over it, because I don't think I could get my cubes in there to begin with. I think we have a small container here. But this will just season them very well. You can see, it's not a hard process at all. You could probably do this ahead of time. And you could even rewarm it the day of. Like if you wanted to bake this maybe the day ahead of time and then just put it in the freezer or wrap it real well and put it in the refrigerator. Whoops. Okay, let's see. Now this is going to take you a little time to do this, so allow for it. And it makes you feel good when you prepare things for someone who has been so good to you. If you stopped and thought of all the meals that your mom has prepared for you over your lifetime, just think about that. Well, that would be, I mean, you could hardly believe it, could you? And we're just saying, today, just make something special for her. And I think how your mom's going to feel so special because you cared enough to do this, or your wife's going to feel that way. I don't want to leave the men out who are, you say, well, yeah, but she's not my mom. No, she's not, but she's the mother of your children. And if they're little and they can't do something, then why not help her out? Why not help them out and make the gift and the card from the kids and from you? That means so much to women. I think a lot of guys don't realize how important the little things that they do for their wives, how important that is to us. We really, I mean, that's so special to think that even though you're busy, you have a vocation, you're working, that you would stop and take the time to do something special. That just means everything in the world to us. So, you know, just let's be thinking about that when it comes time for Mother's Day this year. Let's think about something special. If you're married to a woman who likes to get out in the country and maybe wants to get out of the kitchen, well, take her on like a little excursion, you know, pack a picnic. Right after church, get home, pack that picnic, and why not, you know, load her in the car and say, I'm taking you out and have a picnic. What if it's raining? Well, if it's raining, you know, if you find a little, some kind of a canopy somewhere and just break out a picnic for her. Why not? Don't always do the norm. Do something that's very different, something you haven't done before, and surprise her. My mom was this kind of a woman who, you know, her children, her family, her kids were everything. She and my dad pastored a church for many, many years, and her whole life was devoted helping other people and doing for other people when perhaps there were times when she needed things done herself, but she always put everybody first before herself. And you just don't forget people like that. And you think, you know, I don't, when you have your mother, you don't know what you would do without her. And I used to feel that way. I'd think, boy, I don't know what am I going to do if something happens to her? But I know that just the same as it was with my father, it was with my mother, the Lord really sustained you at a time when you're at your most severe loss. And I appreciate the faithfulness of God in that area. But today we're celebrating the mothers that we have all enjoyed. My mother had such a way with counsel. She would never inflict what she thought on you, but if you ask her, she did not hesitate to tell you what she thought. And she could tell you in a minute if she thought that what you were doing was not exactly right. And she didn't hold back. And every decision, every bit of counsel that she made had a basis in the Word of God. That's why she was such a wise woman. Because she didn't just tell you what she thought to make you feel good or feel bad or whatever. She did what she felt. She said what she felt that God wanted her to say because it was scriptural, what she had to say. All right, we're going to put this into a preheated 400-degree oven, and we're going to bake it for about 25 minutes. So we've got our oven on, and we're going to bake it for 25 minutes, and we're going to be right back in just a minute with the continuation of our Mother's Day special dinner. We'll be right back.
If you love At Home with Arlene Williams, then subscribe to our YouTube channel. We have hundreds of episodes with all your favorite recipes, holidays, and friends.
Say hi to your fan club. Hi, fan club.
And don't forget to click the bell so you'll never miss another episode of At Home.
Well, we're back, and now we're going to make our dessert for our Mother's Day special dinner. And this is called Eclair dessert. And this was submitted to us by Beverly Higgins. Thank you very much, Beverly. We appreciate it. And what we've done here is just taken our 13x9 pan, and we've lined it, greased it, and lined it with, you have to buy 1 box of graham crackers. It's really important to do that. While we're talking, before I explain that, it's 2 boxes of French vanilla instant pudding. French vanilla instant pudding, 3 cups of milk, and we're just going to combine that and let that thicken up because it takes a little while for that to thicken. And this is one of those quick and easy desserts, which I'm always looking for. I like quick and easy. That's one of my favorite things, because who has time to labor and labor and labor and labor? If you do, it's fine, but if you don't, you don't. Okay, back to the graham crackers. We'll probably put about 4 layers of graham crackers. So we're making our pudding, and to that I'm going to add, you can either add whipped cream or Cool Whip. Now today, I'm going to be adding some whipped cream that I have here, but you'd want one of the large boxes or containers of Cool Whip. Dream Whip works fine, any of that, that's all fine. And we're just going to fold our Cool Whip or whipped cream into this pudding mixture, because that's what's going to go on the top of this. And I would like the girls to get the stuff for the icing, please. If you have that together, good. Okay. You know, when we do these programs, it's amazing the things you have to remember. And sometimes we're good at it, and sometimes we forget. But there's an icing that goes over this. And so after we assemble, okay, and we're just going to fold this. Very easily fold it. Come on in, Sandy. You can get the ingredients while we're working on this. This is Sandy, and she usually see the top of her head like you are now. Well, she's helping us out today. She's a great help to us. And we're just going to fold the Cool Whip or the whipped cream into our French vanilla. And this is going to go as one of the layers on our, it's called an Eclair dessert. And if you know what an Eclair is, then you're going to enjoy this, because the Eclair dessert is cold and graham crackery, and it has chocolate over the top. So you're going to want to put a spoon about 1/3 of this over the graham crackers. Now you're going to want to make this ahead of time, because this has to chill. So it's important to do that. And just make sure you cover all the graham crackers. Okay. This kind of puts you in mind of a banana pudding, Dale? I think so too. Now, the other thing that we would do with this is we will definitely have a salad. And I have a salad that's very easy. You'd want to do that. You'd also want to have, with the fresh bread that we've baked, you'd also want to do a some kind of a special beverage, maybe a spritzer of some kind. Just think up some special different types of things that maybe your mom likes, and you've heard her say, oh, that tasted really good, I really enjoyed that. And you know that maybe she hasn't had that for a long time, so why not make it for her special Mother's Day? If it's spaghetti, make her spaghetti. This is just some ideas. Of course, you don't have to make what we make. We hope you would, but just in case you know that you can't, that's okay, doesn't matter. Okay, but just the important thing is to do something special for Mom, all right? Here we go with another layer. I'll spread about half of that on, and you can see it does thicken up, because you're going to put this in and let this chill for about 2 hours. Once we have the icing on it, and also, here we go, more crackers. I think you have enough for 3 layers, like I said, of crackers. And I don't think this would work as good with the graham cracker crumbs. I think you would want to be sure to use the whole crackers. Okay. Just keep putting them out. You say this takes a lot of time. Yeah, it does, but that's okay. You know why? She's special, and it's worth doing it for her, because she is special. This is your mom. You only have one mom in your life, and you want to treat her special. Okay, now the final bit of pudding. This look good? And you know that when this gets cold, this is going to be incredible, incredibly delicious when this gets cold. Okay, now what I want to tell you about the, because I'm not going to have time to make it, I want to tell you about the salad that we're doing. You'll see it at the end of the program. It's a great salad because it's got regular lettuce and romaine lettuce in it, some crumbled bacon, fried bacon, then you drain it and crumble it. And it also has croutons and green peppers and cheese, and then you put a sweet and sour dressing on it. And I'll tell you what, you will like that. And you just assemble it like you would a tossed salad. It's very tasty, very delicious, and something that I know your mother would really enjoy. Don't have to worry about, oh, how do I make the salad dressing? Don't worry about it. Just buy some that you have bottled. Thank you. We're going to melt, let's see, here we melt some butter in a saucepan, and then we add some milk, a couple of cups of powdered sugar, and some vanilla, and that will make our icing for our Eclair dessert. This refrigerates for 2 hours, like I said. And there you have it for Mom. We're going to make our icing, and we'll be right back in just a minute. Here's how you can get all of the recipes you've seen today.
To get all the recipes from today's show, plus hundreds of others, just click the link in the video description or visit our website, ctvn.org/at-home.
Well, here we are at our Mother's Day special dinner. And I hope we've given you some ideas today of some things you can prepare for your special mom. Let me show you. Here's our Swiss steak. You can see it's nice and tender, and the peppers are still tasty, and the onion. And we've added some noodles. Told you we'd put some nice wide noodles with that. And our salad that has crumbled bacon and some cheese and romaine and head lettuce. We'll include those recipes even though we didn't have a chance to tell you about them. Here's the garlic cheese loaf. Doesn't that look wonderful? Yummy, yum. Ah, smells great. And this is the Eclair dessert. Chocolate on top. Remember, this has to chill for 2 hours. Hope you noticed that these dishes are not the normal dishes that we have on at home. I have to show you that this was a set of dishes that my mother used every day. These were her everyday dishes. And they tell me that when my brother was 3 years old, I think he's 56 now, my oldest brother, they bought these at the Sears and Roebuck in the East Liberty part of Pittsburgh. This was service for 12, beautiful vegetable dishes, and I mean, complete set, and it was $29. Now, does that tell you that that was a few years ago? I think so. But you know, these are memories, and I hope that you're making memories with your parents and with your mom. I hope that this time that you spend together is very special. And you know, don't wait till just Mother's Day to tell her how important she is to you. Tell her every day. Doesn't take anything to say, Mom, I love you. I know if my mom was here, I'd be telling her. I always did before, and I would continue to do it. Moms are special people. They're gifts from God. They will always have your best interest at heart, and they'll look out for you. When other people will tell you something else, your mom will tell you the truth for the most part. So you listen to her because she's got words of wisdom. You know, I'm amazed at how smart my parents got the older I got, because their wisdom was not always appreciated. But I'm thankful that even though my mom's gone, God's added other women to my life who have taken up never take their place, but taken up that role of wisdom and help for me. And I thank God for them. Honor them today too. Most of all, be sure to join us the next time, because it just wouldn't be the same without you here at home. We love you, and happy Mother's Day.
Don't forget to click the subscribe button so you'll never miss another episode of At Home. Thank you for watching.
Fresh produce provided by Jordan Banana, wholesalers of fresh fruit and vegetables in Dravosburg, Pennsylvania. Appliances provided by Decor Distinctive Appliances, a reflection of your good taste. Groceries provided by Foodland, where the answer is always yes. Cornerstone Television wishes to thank all our faithful viewers whose consistent prayers and financial support have made this program possible.